So our topic for today would be opening the box model. So for those who already viewed their modules or their books, I think you already have like a basic idea on what is a box model. So from the word box model, so, sir, unsa may connect sa box model sa HTML. So, as you can see, appeal siya sa layout, sa pag-layout sa HTML or sa imuhang website. So, we will discuss further about that uh, during our discussion. Okay? So, at the end of this lesson, you will be able to create a website. You will explore div tags. So div tag is basically means division. So it is how you use the division or how you divide your website so that it will look more organized. So pangpahanay gyapon siya sa atuang website. Okay? So choosing different CSS position. So we will be doing this CSS positioning like left, right, top, bottom. So you will learn more about this when you will be having your hands-on activity. So as of today, for this discussion, we will just discuss about the concept of HTML box modeling. Okay. So applying the CSS positioning to your own website. So this at the end of our lesson, we will be doing the hands-on activity. Okay. So probably by next meeting, you will do a hands-on activity sa inyohang CSS box model. Okay. So what is CSS? So nag-mention si teacher kanina og CSS. So some of I know some of you might be confused. So unsa man tong CSS nga gi-mention teacher? Okay? So CSS is stands for cascading style sheet. Okay? So it is used to format layout of a web page. So CSS is also responsible of doing the layout. So usually dito nimo siya ginabutang ang code for layouting like sizes, spacing, position like top, left, right, bottom, inana. So you can control the color, font, the size of text, the spacing between elements. So how elements are positioned and layout. So mo to siya kung gingon ganina. So what background images or background colors are to be used. So you will be able to customize your background, the size of your background, the color of your background. So dira na to magamit ang CSS sa customizing your website. Okay? So different displays for different devices. So each website has or each website has a different view for each devices. So for example, uh, for Facebook, 'di ba? It has a different display or different size of screen monitor, 'di ba? Sa computer lahi siya kay pinalapad or width, more on width, but for mobile more on length. So that is also a work of CSS in which you are your website is still uh, readable, or being able, you are you're still able to view your website nga bisag unsa ang iyahang sizes sa different devices. Okay, so kay lahi man og size ang ato ang screen, so CSS would be perfect, the perfect uh, code or perfect method to use to be able to view your website in different devices. Okay, so this is an example of a box model. So example picture of a box model. So we have here, I think this is already in your module pod, diba? So I think you are familiar with the box model. So what is a box model? Okay, so ato na siyang discuss further on niya. So in the process, we'll discuss what is known as the box model. So, and how it works with HTML and CSS. So uh, usually CSS is applied siya sa HTML. So most of it, sa ako siyang ipakita niya. So most of the website, or some of the popular website are using HTML as uh, the language to create a website. So they also applied CSS inside HTML in order for them to like uh, more siya og feature bitaw nga wala siya sa basic nga HTML. So they added CSS to make the website more organized. So we are also going to look for new CSS properties and use some of the length values. So example ani is the div tag. So katong division. So you will be using that code uh, sa inyong hands-on. So makita pa dyan ninyo kung unsa ang usage sa div tag dito. Okay? So what is the CSS box model? So unsa man ang CSS box model? Okay? So the box model is used to describe an element's dimension and structure. So it is made up of 4 boxes. So di ba as nakita nato diri? So upat siya ka buok. So we have the content box, the padding box, the border box, and margin box. Okay, so upat ni siya ka buok diri. Box model. Okay, so we will be discussing uh, the 4 boxes one by one later. So okay, so we will start about the content box. So what do you think is the parts, or kung unsay ang naa sa content box? So from the word content, okay, so from the word content, it is usually filled with contents. Okay, so the content box is defined by whatever is inside the element. So it will expand and contract depending on its content. So usually if you are able to, so di ba nakaagi naman tawag create og website in which na inyong profile, di ba nakainumdum pa mo ato? So na inyong name, so na picture nga namoy picture nga gi-upload, di ba? So that is called the content, but we didn't apply the box model or the CSS style sa atuang HTML that time. So you already have the idea kung unsa ang content. Okay, so this includes the actual data in the form, excuse me, okay, form of text, so image and other media content. So anything that is uh, like video or mga text or mga image is part of the content. So the width and the height properties modify the dimensions of this box. So usually the height and the width of your website is depends on how much your content is. So unsa kadaghan na ang imong content or unsa kagami ang imong content. So dira mag-base ang size sa ato ang content box model. So here for padding, so as you can see, uh, padding is above the content. So the space between the outer edge of the content and its border refers to padding. So middle part siya sa border and content. So this box can resize by the padding property. So uh, you will be able to uh, set the sizes of it. Uh, so this is just like a concept pa man pod. So as para mas makasabot jud mo taman, you will be able to like uh, use the code it yourself. So mas maayo man jud nang kamo ang maka-code. So you will be able to use padding in the hands-on activity to learn more about its usage. So uh, by next meeting, we will try the hands-on activity by using padding para mas makita ninyo kung unsa ang usage. Okay, so edge specific properties like padding left, padding bottom. So mo to siya kung giingon ganina sa positioning. So helps in achieving the custom spacing. So uh, you will see an example output of this one sa ato ang hands-on activity. So before you will do a hands-on, so I will discuss or I will show uh, some codes, like for example sa inyong module, naman to siya activity, di ba, in which you will fill the missing code. So I will show some of the exercises sa inyong activity on how they use the box models, like the padding, the positioning. So ato na siyang ipakita dito. So what is border? So border is the distance between outer edge of the padding and the inner edge of the margin. Okay, so as you can see sa picture gihapon, mo na siya ang border in between sa padding and the margin. So by default, excuse me, so by default its width is set to 0. So the border property is used to define an element's border. So individual edges can also be styled. Okay, so from the word border, I guess it is understandable naman gihapon siya. But border and also like the margin is not really that visible uh, sa isa ka website. So dili kayo nato siya makita kay mostly the one nga the box part nga ato ang permi makita sa isa ka website is the content box model. So the next would be margin. So the space between an element box and its surrounding elements is defined as margin. So overall nga nasa sulod tanan is nasa sa sulod sa margin. So this is analogous to the page margin, which is defined as the space between the edge of a page and its content. So as nakabantay mo, edges of your page like sa pinakakilid or pinakaubos na jud siya, that is part of the margin na siya. Okay? So, it is transparent in color, simulating properties of padding, except that it clears the area outside the element's border. Like padding, the individual edges can be defined to have a custom margin. So, it's still like mura siya og padding gihapon, but more likely transparent siya, dili kay siya ingon nga makita. So same as the like mga border, so dili kay siya ingon nga visible jud sa imong actual nga website. So more on to like positioning, spacing ra jud ang gamit niya sa mga margin, so border, sa mga inana padding. Okay, so what do you think is the advantage of having a CSS box model? Unsa may advantage na to? So maybe you will know the importance of having CSS box model once you will be able to do a hands-on ana. So today kay purely discussion raman sa ta. So mostly na-discuss naman nato ang uh, what is a box model all about. So by next meeting na nato siya buhat ang hands-on. So we will be using the same website. So ato sa balik sa ta dere. So what do you think is the advantage of having a CSS box model? So for me, having a CSS box model would be easy for me to customize my website, edit the spacing, uh, customize the positioning, the colors, the background. So as a web developer, it would be like less hassle for me to uh, edit again the website. So dili kayo siya hago for me to like find the certain division nga akong gusto customize. Okay, so uh, I think that's all for me of having CSS box model as an advantage. Okay, so I think that's all for the discussion.